Numbers keep climbing. That's a good thing. All right, Ms. Richardson.
Good morning. Hi, folks. I can still see you. I don't know how long that'll last, but good morning. It's really good to see your faces.
All right.
Welcome.
All right. First day of school. Ms. Arnold, can you hear Mr. Trumbull?
I can hear you, but you're pretty low. If there's a way you can go a little bit louder, that would be great.
I'll do my best. How does that sound? Better? No?
Tiny bit.
You're breaking up a little bit, Mr.
All right,
Trumbull.
I'll do my best here. It was.
Yeah, lean in, Mr. Trumbull, and speak loud.
Yeah, it all depends on what device Mr. Trumble's using, but I'm coaching boys. There, chart out there. Give me a thumbs up there if you can hear me.
There's a lot of feedback, Mr. Trumbull.
I will try. We'll try something here.
Mr. Trumbull, I would maybe suggest if you can move to a different location. It seems like there's some interference with your signal, and there's a little bit of digitalizing to your voice a little bit.
Sometimes that's a good thing. This is where Mr. Trumbull makes everybody seasick.
It's looking better, or it's sounding better, Mr. Trumbull.
Tell me if this.
Mr. Trumbull, you with us? IHS to Trumbull. IHS to Trumbull.
Freshmen, this is a good thing that we know that things are going to happen, right? And we have a lot of grace and patience with each other.
That is correct, and we push through.
Yeah, that includes all of you.
Principal's doing his best to figure this out. How we sounding, Mr. Mitchell? Better?
That is much better.
Much better.
It says your bandwidth is low.
My bandwidth is low. That's exactly right. Ms. Barnes knows that's exactly the truth. Yes, my bandwidth is low. I'm over in the Performing Arts Center down in a lonely hallway looking at students that I want to see come back to school. That's for sure.
Indeed.
You tell me when we're ready, Mr. Mitchell, and I'll say a quick hello, and then we got something to show students, correct?
Let's rock and roll.
Students, good morning. We've got over 300 folks participating this morning, which is a great number, but it's not everybody, and we're going to work to get everybody. So I want you to think about and take a look around to make sure all your friends are here and all your classmates are here. That's one thing that will help us out. But I want to welcome you to the 2020-2021 school year. My name is Mr. Trumbull. You can call me Mr. T. You can call me Coach. You can call me Mr. Trumbull. That's fine. Your parents will call me Jason, and I'll explain what that means in a little while. But you're going to hear this expression from me for the next 4 years. This is our school. Our school. And we're going to talk about student voice, student choice, engaging folks in conversation, and really empowering you to make sure that you have your greatest experience here at Ithaca High School over the next 4 years. Every single one of you is going to graduate from Ithaca High School. We're going to talk about what it means to do that. And those 4 years are going to go fast. They're going to go super fast. But before I get into any content and kind of get to know you kind of things, I wanted to say to Mr. Mitchell, we're ready to show that quick video. I think folks will think that's kind of cool and set us off on a good start for the 2020-2021 school year. Cool? Mr. Mitchell, roll.
All right, here we go.
Nice picture.
All right, here we go. Kid superintendent.
Mr. Mitchell, there's no audio.
Okay, let me pause. Give me 1 second. Let me get out of share screen. Our apologies, students. Bear with us.
I'll just quickly introduce myself. I'm going to be introducing myself shortly anyway. Good morning. Welcome back. I'm Miss Richardson, AP Associate Principal for 10th graders and Curriculum and Instruction. And it's really wonderful to see all of the faces that I do. There's probably about 25 on my screen, and it's wonderful to see all 25 of you. I would just like to take this opportunity to let you know I've been a teacher for close to 15 years. I think this would have been my 15th year. And this kind of stuff, as you all know, happens all the time. So especially nowadays that we are, fully into distance learning, and starting off this way, this is the things that happen. And we roll with the punches. So if we can't get this up, we'll just move along as we usually do, and won't allow this to stop our flow. But it's really wonderful to see all of you. I look forward to meeting you in person. I hope you're ready to get your learn on, and that you're as excited as we are to begin this school year. I have two of my own little ones, and they did not sleep well last night with all the jitters. So
I think we're ready.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's give it a try again.
Take two.
Does everyone see this screen with the gentleman with the suit?
We can see it, Mr. Mitchell.
Sound?
Maybe.
No sound.
No sound? Sound or no? Was there sound?
No sound, Mr. Mitchell.
Okay.
I'm
I
wondering
think we should bypass that.
Good. That's fine. And what we can do, students, is we'll push that out to you as an attachment, because it is a pretty cool video that will help set the stage for this school year. And I think as we work through our technology issues, and we know your teachers do the same thing, and I want to say to you and your families, and I see some family members there when we're talking to, as a freshman class, we're beginning that we're working through this. And there's no such thing as being perfect, and we appreciate folks rolling. That's Mr. Trumbull down there with a scruffy beard. It almost looks like a paint-on beard. But here's the message that I wanted to give to you today, and I want you to hear me clearly on this, that I started off with this expression that this is our school. You see that banner in the back that says Ithaca High School. When we come back to school, that's where I stand every single day to welcome you. And right to the left of there, 4 big banners on the side of the school, and those are our 4 core values. Just a moment ago that every single one of you is going to graduate from Ithaca High School. There's over 150 adults in this building to ensure that you are pushed and loved and put in a position to be successful. We have 4 core values that we believe in and we espouse, and then those are compassion, ownership, integrity, and tenacity. I want you to think about those words for a second in terms of compassion, and think about what compassion means. And compassion, in essence, Mr. Trumbull's definition, is that we understand how each other's feeling. We work with one another. We develop a sense of empathy and care, and it's an integral part of every community. You're joining the Ithaca High School community. Mr. Trumbull says often that we are the community. Ownership, meaning that we own where we want to be and what we do. My eternal hope for you is that you always have choices in life. Ithaca High School is going to offer you a whole set and almost a limitless set of choices that you'll make. But you've got to own those decisions and own their responsibility. Integrity. Do we understand where we want to be? Do we stand behind what we say? And we're here to tell you, even without a video here, as we work through it, that we mean what we say. We are here to make sure that you graduate and that you got a bright future, every single one of you. Tenacity. As I know, and I'm looking at many of you that I already know, and I knew you from DeWitt, I knew you from Boynton, you already have that core value of tenacity. We're core value, and you're going to help shape Ithaca High School into what we want it to be in terms of our school. So those 4 core values are going to help us move forward as a community. So over the next 4 years, you're going to hear those oftentimes. I'm going to see students roll their eyes and go, I know, Mr. Trumbull, this is compassion, or this is ownership, or this is tenacity. That's where we're trying to be. When I think about those core values, I think of those 150 plus adults here that are here to help you. They espouse those values every single day. This is a new start for us here. We've never started school virtually, so to speak. This is different feeling for Mr. Trumbull. This is my 28th opening in Ithaca City School District and my 7th opening in Ithaca High School. This feels very different. Normally we're surrounded by students and I feel your energy, and I feel your energy as I see you out there and you're smiling and you're ready to go. We're ready to go too. This isn't going to be perfect, and I'm saying it to families as well. Just like we're struggling with a video, the technology is going to hold us back sometimes. Your teachers want perfection for you. They want to do this extremely well, and they care about you. They care about their classes. And my hat's off to the teachers and all the staff here that are helping kind of learn new ways to do this. But this is a school, and I want you to hear me clearly. Students aren't the only ones that are learning. Mr. Trumbull, the principal, all the APs, all the leadership team, all the teachers, everybody, all the adults are learning along with you. So I ask for your patience. I ask that you understand and compassion. And I want to say that I can't say enough about our staff that's working hard to make sure you have a great experience either online or in person. And it's going to be bumpy all year long, but we're going to stay with the notion that this is our school, and those 4 core values are going to help us move forward. We sign every letter that we send to your families that we're IHS strong to be strong and stay strong. That's where I want you to be, staff and students alike. We love you. This is going to be a great year. And reach out to me anytime you need help and assistance, and there's more than enough people here to make those things happen. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce Mr. Mitchell, who is the associate principal for freshmen, this very class, and he gets to welcome you and see you through the next 4 years. So I say a sincere welcome.
Good morning, class of 2024. I am Corey Mitchell, senior, and I'm the associate principal for the 9th grade transition. I'm so happy to see you. I wish it was in person so we could be giving high fives and fist bumps and elbow bumps and all those things that we love to do. But we all know that we are in a different world right now with the COVID pandemic, and that is going to shift and shape much of what we do as we begin to move into the school year and progress as we move into being able to get back into an in-person form of learning. I want to talk to you first about a couple things. One of the most important things pieces of advice I could give you as you begin to transition from middle school to high school is the importance of communication. Communication is so important in making sure that everyone on both ends, the student and the school, knows what's going on. I'm going to talk about communication first in the sense of attendance. Now, we're not physically attending school, but things are still going to happen. Doctor's appointments are still going to come about. Other appointments that you or your parents may have to engage in that are considered legal absences. What we want you to do, even though you can't go to our attendance office in person, want you to be able to communicate that with our folks in the attendance office. Those 2 key people are listed on the screen, Ms. Linda Howell and Mrs. Debbie Kane. If Mrs. Howell handles students for last names from A through L, there's her email address and her phone number. If you can, write that down. And for those students who have last names that are M through Z, that's Debbie Kane. And there's her email address and phone number. Well, her email is not there. We'll get that to you as well. What we want to point out to you is their information is on the IHS website as well. We'll be sending information out via email to you. Let me mention that since I'm speaking of email. Email is the major means of communication, particularly as we are in a virtual school setting right now. So it's going to be important for you to check your email regularly to get information from the school in general and from your teachers. As your teachers, you get trained and your teachers continue to develop their material through the Canvas learning management system. Communication will also take place through Canvas as well, which will make things so much easier. But again, if you know that you're going to be out of school, you're going to miss school for any amount of time, please contact Mrs. Howell or Mrs. Kane to let them know, and they will get in touch with your teachers. As I mentioned, communication will also go through Canvas. So when you have trouble logging into a class, communicate that with your teacher. We are going to have some challenges over the next couple of days. We're facing that right up front. If you aren't able to access Canvas, be sure to try email. Mrs. Karen Arnold is going to cover some of this with you in a little bit, so I'm not going to go much into detail on Canvas. And other means of communication, your teachers, some of your teachers will share a remind number that they will communicate with you about. Some may have messaging that is set up, and you can always call. So communication, please note, it is critically important for everyone to be on the same page. And the last thing I want to share with you is what I call the 4 Ps. When I was in a classroom, these are the standards. These were the rules for my classroom, and I just want to break it down. I won't say so much rules, but these are the guidelines for my classroom for everyone to be successful. And I thought about these in terms of virtual learning, and I think they are very much appropriate. So once you get your schedules, or many of you have looked at them, some of you haven't, when you know when your classes begin, be on time. That means be prompt, be on time to your classes. Make sure you're there a couple minutes ahead, or plan to try to log on ahead, particularly the first couple days, so that we can try to avoid any possible technical issues and get those addressed so that you do not lose any valuable time with your teachers and your peers in your classes. Be prepared, have the materials that you need. Make sure your Chromebook is charged. Make sure that if there's something going on with your audio, that you have a backup plan, that you're using your headphones. Make sure you have the materials that you need to start that class. But that we want you to be prepared, be prompt, be prepared, be productive in an online environment that looks very different from what we do in person. Mrs. Richardson is going to talk a little bit about areas of engagement and what that means in terms of synchronous and asynchronous learning. But we are encouraging you all to use your time wisely, be productive, engage in the activities that your teachers present to you and provide for you. Be sure that if there's something that you do not understand, ask questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question. The only question that I consider stupid is the one that you do not ask. So make sure you get questions out to your teachers, because if you don't let them know that you don't get something or don't understand something, they will have a difficult time figuring that out, and that wastes a lot of time and energy. So make sure that you're prompt, make sure that you're prepared, make sure that you're productive, and politeness in the terms of being on the in the virtual space, making sure that we're following our netiquette rules, making sure we're following the policies and procedures about being good online citizens. When your teachers are engaged in a discussion or an activity with you, what being not polite would look like is being engaged with a game, or playing a game, or listening to music at the same time, or hiding behind your avatars. Let's move away from that as we're moving into high school. Please understand that all of your courses, every course counts as a credit towards graduation. So from day one, you need to start off strong and finish strong, but do know that we are here to support you and guide you through this journey. With that, I'm going to hand off the baton to Ms. Richardson, our Associate Principal for 10th grade and Curriculum and Instruction.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, what an amazing first day. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Thank you, Mr. Trumbull, for starting us off. So first I want to just say, yes, I'm Ms. Richardson. I am the Associate Principal for Curriculum and Instruction and for 10th grade. This slide that I have up in front of you is, just so you know, I was a former art teacher for close to 15 years in the district. And so you will see a lot of photos over time, and especially throughout this slideshow, that are from years of teaching and working with students, which is my heart. And I want you to notice as you move through the slideshow, all of these really beautiful faces, all of the differences, all of the similarities, all of the smiles and the light in their eyes, the same kind of light that you have. And that school, whatever your experience has been up until this point, whether it be positive, not so positive, in between, we want to make your 4 years here the best 4 years, right? And so I'm going to talk a little bit about expectations on your end. And then when you get into your classes and you start talking with your teachers, they're going to go over their own specific expectations, and we'll create and you will get to share in expectations for that class, and hopefully developing and contributing. We want to hear your voice, and we want to hear feedback, and that goes for the entire staff. We want to know what we're doing well and what we can improve on, so that the expectations go both ways, right? I want to start off first just by saying something that I always say to all of my students in my classes, which is understand that we often perceive people without knowing their individual struggles, without knowing their life experience, without walking in their shoes. We might look at someone and think that we know everything about them, right? That's what a prejudge is. And we often, media, lots of things tell us how to think, inform us of how to think. And what I want for you to do as you step into your high school education is, when you have that first initial thought about someone, where you think you know them without really knowing them, take a step back, reset your thinking, and maybe look at it as an opportunity to get to know someone. And understand that we all have struggles that are invisible. And so we want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and we want to bring our best, and we want to give our best. Engagement. When you're online, and like right now, I'm talking through my computer screen. I'm grateful that I can see some of the faces who have cameras on. That helps with engagement. During your synchronous learning time, which means that you are present in the classroom, you've showed up, your teacher is present. That's synchronous learning, the time that you show up. Your teacher may ask you to, may instruct you to work on something and leave while the teacher stays present, and then come back into the shared virtual learning with everyone. So you might be doing like collaborative work or individual work, But the synchronous work is when you are engaged with the instruction and the material that your teacher is giving you at the time. It's much like this. In terms of engagement and engaging, it's so important, like I was saying, during this synchronous time, to have the cameras on. We understand, kind of like what I was just saying, that sometimes we can't judge. We don't know what's going on in the background. You know, maybe the space is not a great space for being able to hear well. Maybe there's like windows open, or it just doesn't have great sound quality there. Maybe you're a private person like myself and you don't want everybody looking in at your house. That's okay too. But if and when it's possible to have the camera on so that your teacher and your fellow peers can see you and interact, that helps with engagement. And so we're going to ask that you have your camera on when possible. If you can, try to find a quiet spot for yourself, something, you know, place where you can focus and do your work. Mr. Mitchell had spoken about communication, super important. Talk with your teachers when there's issues. Talk with your guidance counselors or your school counselors when there's concerns, okay? If you're doing collaboration work, share the workload, okay? That's part of the expectation of your learning. Also understand, just like we saw today, tech issues are going to happen. They're going to happen on your end as a student. They're going to happen on our end as well. Okay. Mute, the mute feature. Stay muted unless your instructor asks you not to be and wants the feedback or asks you to engage in a way where they want to hear your voice. So just be thinking about being aware of your mute so that we're not hearing all the background noise, all right? Managing your time is super important. If your past habits have been not to manage your time so well in middle school or elsewhere, now is the time to manage your time, okay? Now is the time to manage your time. Staying organized, staying on task, like Mr. Mitchell just said, not on the video games or doing other stuff and texting and stuff when you need to be focusing and it's challenging. Okay, so again, I'm going to just quickly say chat space conversation, keep that on focus, and then think about, I got excuse me, teacher, can I use the restroom? Okay, what that means is handle your biology. You are in your house. If you need to use the restroom, you don't need to announce it. Go handle your biology. If you're hungry, handle all of that. Okay, and you don't need to disrupt the instruction and the learning to do so. Having said all of that, welcome. And your teachers are going to review the synchronous and the asynchronous components of their classrooms and how you will work and engage in synchronous and asynchronous learning. Thank you, and I look forward to meeting all of you in person.
All right. We're going to skip over Mrs. Hardesty. She's not available right now, and we're going to try to cut this short because we are over time. And we're going to have Miss Eva Collier introduce herself and Miss Karen Arnold introduce themselves, and then we're going to shift out. We will get more information out to you via email later in the day. Go ahead, Mrs. Arnold.
All right. Can you go to the slide?
1 second.
Thanks. I'm Karen Arnold, Mrs. Arnold, and I was thinking that all of us, class of 2024, I get to start my first year at the Kahai with all of you. So you're going to be a very special class to me. And I probably shouldn't be sharing this, but I was a freshman 35 years ago. And what's pretty cool about that is that's my sports number in high school and my favorite number. So welcome. I do want to let you know that I will be sending all of you out a Google form because my other job, most of you know me by Canvas, probably Canvas Lady now, However, you are going to need to have class officers. You will have class officers every year. They will be elected every year. There's a president, a vice president, a treasurer, and a secretary. So be expecting a Google form in your email inbox today. It's due by Friday midnight. You are going to nominate up to 5 people per position, and you can nominate yourself, and then we'll go from there. So welcome class of 2024, IHS Strong. Let's go. We're gonna have a great year.
Thank you, Ms. Arnold.
You're welcome.
And Ms. Collier.
Hey everyone, I'm Miss Collier. I'm one of your school counselors. So if you have the last name starting with S all the way through Z, I'm your school counselor. Hi. There are 4 other counselors and you've been assigned by last name. Unless you're in the AVID program, then anyone in AVID gets Mr. Wilson because he is our AVID guru. You can come to us for pretty much anything. We're a good first place to start if you're not sure who to ask for help. So if you have academic concerns, which we are in the middle of right now, all these scheduling questions, because you're all just got to see your schedule this weekend. So I know there's a ton of questions out there about that. We're a good place to start for that, which a lot of people have taken advantage of. So be patient when you reach out right now. But if you later on have some questions about, you know, your career, college goals, or even just you're having a bad day and you need somebody to talk to, go-to person here. So anything that you need, go to your school counselor. And if we, for some reason, don't know the answer, or we feel like we need to, you know, you need more support than we can offer, we know who to send you to. So we're a really great place to start. And I hope you all have a really great school year. It's a weird start. This is not the way we all wanted to start the school year, but we're here together and we're all learning how to deal with it. So anytime, we're here for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Collier. Thank you, everyone. So students, we are going to shift. You guys are going to be released. You will have lunch from 11 to 12:30 or whenever you choose as your virtual, but on our schedule it's from 11 to 12:30. 12:30, you guys will be checking in with Mrs. Karen Arnold. Check your email. We'll be sending out another email shortly to get you directed to where you need to attend in the afternoon. Looking forward to the school year. Take care, and we'll be in touch soon.